So now we're moving into finding the area of a circle. And when we find the area of a circle, we're going to use a particular formula. That formula is pi times r, or radius, squared. So remember, when something is squared, that means we're multiplying that value by itself. So when you see radius squared, that really means r times r. So as you're working through these problems, when you're given the radius, you're going to have to find what it is when it is squared. So let's look at an example. Our first line, of course, as always, is going to be our formula. So area equals pi r squared. So we substitute in area. For pi, we're going to use 3.14 again. And then our radius squared would be 5 squared. So that means that the first thing that we're going to take care of by order of operations is that exponent. So 5 squared, 5 to the second power, means 5 times 5, which is 25. So we have to multiply 25 times 3.14. Again, I would expect there to be some doodle work with this. You have to multiply these on your own. You're not allowed to use any kind of technology to help you. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. 5 times 3 is 15. We need one placeholder. 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 3 is 6. And then we add up. Be very careful. Make sure you line things up. 0 plus 0 is 0. 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. Plus 2 is 8. And 6 plus 1 is 7. And here we have 2 digits behind the decimal place in our problem. So we're going to have 2 digits behind the decimal place in our answer. And for today's work, I'm going to have you round to 1 place behind the decimal. So you're going to round to the tens place. Here we have a 0, so that means that would fall off. So our area then is 78.5 centimeters square. It's area, so our centimeters, our units, will all be squared. Let's look at one more example before I send you to work. So with this problem, our first line is our formula. Area equals pi r squared. Then we're going to substitute 3.14 for pi. And our radius is 9. So 9 has to be squared, which means we're going to multiply 9 times 9 first, which is 18. Now let's work out 3.14. I'm sorry. Oh, I made a mistake. I almost made a mistake that you all normally make. 9 times 9 is not 18. It is 81. So now I'm going to multiply 3.14 times 81. Well, my first line is 1 times 3.14, so it's going to be 314. Add my placeholder. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 is 11. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So now we're going to add 4, 3, 4, 5, 2. And we need 2 digits behind the decimal point because that's what we have in our problem. And then we're going to round. So our answer ends up being 254.3 feet squared.